Hey there, how's it going? What is up, everybody? Irish Orangutan is back to pass along the updates and info to make the most of your Madden team. Enjoy! Look at the best team no money can buy in Madden. Very excited about the updates we have been able to make. This team looking very dangerous. The only thing I've been back working on that a little bit in this head-to-head. I've gotten a lot of the West Coast and the running game down. Now I'm working on some of those. Gutfox did a tremendous job of laying out some for every coverage. I would definitely check that out. That full in a few different schemes, taking me back to what a few plays that I had ran last year, excuse me, and they've helped out immensely. So just go and check that out for this house rules that is going on right now. That is also why you might notice that some of my players are active as superstars and it's more focused towards the passing game. Aaron Rodgers has been doing a tremendous job for me. Did have a question in the comments about him and exactly why I have picked him up and have continued to go with him. His release is very, very fast and it has been just a tremendous help with me. I can make a read half a second late, and it still allows me to get the pass out to the players, and it is just a huge bonus for me. So that is the reason why I do have him, and did go out and spend way too many coins to go and get his top end card, but very excited to have him. Do have the Michael Vick. Considering getting him with the solos that I have been able to get done for the Madden Ultimate Team 10 program, but probably going to focus towards Randy Moss. He's been doing a tremendous job alongside Torrey Holt in these house rules, and he's going to help me immensely with some of these other Washington receivers that I have. They've been doing a tremendous job. Antoine Randall L., Deshaun Jackson, and Terry McLaurin have actually been doing a lot of sweeps and plays like that for me as well to kind of add into my offense, run a couple of those plays, and then run some plays down the field with that motion, and that helps out immensely. It brings the defense down. So, just something I've been doing, and it's been helping me out a lot. Have been adding Sprinter to my team with the make rights that they did give out. It has been a huge help for me, to be honest. I've been able to accumulate a lot of coins by just re-rolling lower end cards. A lot of people were going out and trying to just go big with it and get 90 to 91s, and that caused a kind of crash in that market, and that was very beneficial for me. I was able to go out and I was around 2 million coins and purchased a whole bunch of training for around 24, 25. And as you have noticed, everyone is trying to go for bats now, so they're trying to acquire training, and the new players are coming out with bats. So there aren't new players coming into the market with training, so that market is going up. So there is thankfully some money to be made for those people who did invest in that. Thankfully, I had and have then been flipping those to the 80 and 81s. So that is a huge benefit towards that. Again, just continue to do those things and they will help you out immensely. But for other upgrades to the team at this point, the Castro, he's been buff over Larry Allen. Not quite as athletic, but his agility, acceleration, strength are all very high comparable as well. And he's just tremendous across the board and a very good run blocker. Do have zone run on them to help out a little bit in that regard. Also do have all of my Maddens coaching buffs with passing and rushing. I have two in each. Have been playing a lot more head to head this year and have been doing a lot better. My defense honestly wins me a lot more games if it's a legitimate straight head to head game. If it is house rules and it is a defensive advantage, that's a huge, huge plus for me. If they are going to allow those to count towards series wins as well, I'll definitely play that out and probably play a little bit more. Probably not going to get to those 75 wins for this round, to be honest. Tyler Lockett would be nice. I might be lying. I might have him on my team the next time that I do show off my team, but at this point, I don't think that I'm going to be able to get to 75. I have under 20 at this point, above 10, but I'm not exactly sure where that is. But just having fun in the mode and just practicing trying to throw the ball deep against everyone trying to stop you throwing the ball deep. So that is making that a little bit more difficult, but it should allow some other things underneath to open up if you aren't just trying to go for those deep passes all the time as well. So just consider that. Um, but like I said, with those buffs, with all the training coming out, not only did I get a lot of coins, I did add Sprinter to all the players that I did think it was a viable option. Kevin Mawai, Larry, excuse me, Lane, not Larry, could potentially get that as well, but I don't think it's that much of a necessity for them, and I'm not going to be able to get to the next tier with the players that I do have on the team and that I would potentially want to add that to. So I'm just kind of stuck at 24 at this point, but that does help out immensely anyway. But as you can see, it is on quite a few of the players in my skill positions, pretty much everyone that I can. I do have a lot of Redskins that fill out the back end positions of the wide receivers. Terry McLaurin, excuse me, is another one that I play very frequently. His next upgrade would want, but it is expensive at this point. Just his card that gets up to I think 90 and then gets the buff to the 91 with his upgrades, Sprinter, the Coach Madden buffs, and I believe Zone Run on him to help out with that run blocking. I do believe him and Delaney Walker. As you can see, they both block like offensive linemen, so that also helps out in my run game and kind of helps me finish off games as well. But with this Delaney Walker, he is absolutely elite at what he does. He is perfect at run blocking, and then he is also capable at catching the football. So that is a perfect fit for me. Wish he was a little bit better, potentially at pass blocking, fit at that as well. Want to make sure I'm not lying in that regard. Looked at that since his most recent upgrade. Yeah, he's a little bit lower with those 66s, but I guess it's just so good at run blocking is why that's kind of set apart there. So this Aaron Rodgers, as you can see, I do love playing with him with his quick release, but also he does have stats to back that up. I did need to switch over. I did have one extra zone run. Was switching up my lineup, so once we do get that go deep up to the second level with 10 players, he does get that 94 throw power and the 90 throw deep. Both buffed there, so that is a huge plus for him. And then his throw on the run ability and his just ability to throw the ball deep is what is really helpful for me. And then, of course, he is able to do those West Coast things, and he's more than capable in the mid game also. The one thing that is a little bit negative on him is his throw under pressure. I do wish that was a little bit higher, but with his next card, hopefully he does get that buff, or his throw power and throw deep just gets high enough that I can feel as if I can start going towards. I think play fake would give that a little bit of a buff, along with play action and mid accuracy. And some of my wide receivers have the go deep, which gives them a buff to obviously their spectacular catch and deep route running, but most of them are set up with that zone run. And they all do have that one overall buff, 91 overall for Andre Reed, and then the 91 overall for Randy Moss as well. And I believe, yeah, Antoine Randall L is also 91 overall. Corey Schlesinger is someone that I did go out and put together the entire theme diamond for him. And it was a wonderful addition to my team. He's a tremendous run blocker. I can also put him up on the line, kind of in the place where Jordan Reed would be, and he has, I believe, 91 run blocking. And then also recently I did acquire Christian Okoye. He is very fast for a fullback and just a tremendous weapon for an offense. So I'm going to try to figure out how to use him a little bit. Just did kind of bluff him a couple times on the goal line and kind of went a different direction with him. And that kind of worked out. So it is working in that regards. So hopefully I can start to use him and actually get him in the end zone himself. On the defensive side of the ball, I have continued to make additions as well. On defense and offense, I am at 91 overall. Of course, it doesn't always tell you how good your team is. You could have very slow players that aren't very good there. I've done my best to try to get the best players that kind of fit my scheme as well, and that kind of is based on speed. So I'm very excited about the players I have been able to add. This Ray Lewis is someone I probably did buy a little bit early. I think he is 60,000, or I bought him for 60,000 more than what he is going for at this point in time. I did not put those sets together and then flip those or and flip the 92s or anything like that. I just went out and acquired him. I really don't try to open up a lot of packs acquiring these players. I do my best to just go out and buy them when they are at their least expensive. A lot of players went out and were acquiring a lot of coins, and everyone had a lot of training, so everything kind of dipped for a short period of time. Now everyone has a lot of coins because they use their training to acquire them, so now it is the opportunity for you to potentially make a whole bunch of coins back. So hopefully you were able to invest a little bit and did not just go out and splurge and spend everything. But it was also a good time to kind of put a team together. So it could have been good in either regard. So just hopefully you're not trying to put your team together now because it will be a little bit more difficult. But with the middle linebackers I have, it makes it a lot easier. Again, they're not getting the best animations, but the speed that I have there is absolutely tremendous. Love that the rookie premier Devin Bush got this upgrade. He is a legit stud that could be fitting in for any team that did play to go out and get him last year and did put that together. Also, if you just want to go get the team of the week, he could be a tremendous fit for you also. Do love the way Pat Tillman is playing. The other big addition that I did get at linebacker was Von Miller. Sorry to skip over Tillman like that, but I have one over him. Him and Ken Houston do a tremendous job there. Try to fit them in at linebacker sometimes if I'm struggling in the passing game, but people do run more often than not, so they just fit where they are. But Von Miller was another expensive purchase that I did go out and get, but I just felt that that added rush with that speed could help out immensely. And when I play 3-4 and I can bring Lawrence Taylor and Von Miller off the edges, it can really shut down a lot of stretches, especially when I have Ray Lewis and Shazier trying to shut things down behind them. And then, of course, Pat Tillman and Ken Houston trying to follow that up. So just a tremendous fit with my run game with those players. And very excited about what they have been able to do for me so far. But it is very expensive to try to put some of these players together, but it can be worth it to splurge to get one player that could potentially change your team. If he's not going to be one of those top three players, I would try to just kind of build around those players. They don't have to be the best players. They could just be a good physical fit for their position. A taller player, that Earl Thomas, if you can potentially get him that by playing 75 games, he intercepts a lot more passes than he should based on his speed, but he is someone with that zone and play rec just seemingly is able to make those plays. Ed Reed is another player that I'm very excited to have and just have his power up version at this point. I'm going to be adding his next version because he is tremendous help in the pass game and is just a tremendous fit there. If there's a Sean Taylor that comes out very soon, it might not be a good fit, but I do play a lot more zone than man, so he fits very well into my. And the plant I acquired, I believe, right before recording my last two videos was this Deion Sanders. Love the way that he fits on my team. Do have those 25 Washington Redskins and sprinter on him to get him up to that 93 speed, 94 acceleration. Sadly, the agility does get negated with that sprinter. I think later in the year, sprinter going to be necessarily the best. One of the physical abilities that just gives you one speed but two in another area could help out more because I do believe a lot more players will get to 99 speed but potentially not to 99 agility and acceleration. So when training does get cheaper later on in the year, that's something I will be changing. And thankfully, EA did a very good job of still allowing us, after the kind of large issue of the postponement of this most feared and giving us all of those training back, they still will allow us to go in and get that refund for a good portion of our training so we can change those things up, and that will be a huge help later on in the year as well. But this Deion Sanders is tremendous in coverage. Not the best shutting down the run, but he's just able to catch up to players, similarly to what a Champ Bailey can do. Those two players usually fit back. Cover three is one of my base schemes, like running cover four and then just mixing things up and playing with different QB spies and different players underneath. And then with Champ Bailey and Deion Sanders both being 93 speed, they can keep up with pretty much anybody. And since I don't have them necessarily come up and press, it's very, very hard to throw the ball over top. And especially if you don't try to just play your cornerbacks up and worry about that. Not even necessarily a press, but just keep them more towards the line. It can cause issues, so just keep that in mind. With this Darius Slay, he is someone that I very much like playing in my nickel scheme. He is someone that does have a little bit better of block shed than some of my other players. I have kept around Xavier Howard because he's very good at that as well. Block shedding 54, 45 for Champ Bailey. 35 for Deion Sanders, and for Xavier we have 58, and Darius Slay has that 54. So with their speed and just abilities, they both are very, very good at what they do and do help in the run game a little bit more. If I'm struggling with that, possibly would swap out Xavier and Deion, but that would have to take quite a bit to get that speed off of the field for me. And on the defensive line, DeForest Buckner, it might just be a placeholder at this point. Have liked playing with him, has a tremendous size advantage, and his finesse move does make him a little bit special in the middle. So he is able to take advantage of some centers, and I have used that to my advantage, but in most regards, using Howie Long, potentially Jerry Hughes would be a better option for me, and even Reggie White because they all have a better block shed. So I have defensive ends that are faster that could potentially play his position better and definitely do that in nickel and dime situations. Also, did get this Jonathan Allen. Did go out and do that secret mission that is hidden. It's just an opportunity for you to get one of these players a little bit less expensively if you kind of get in and do things the way that EA wants you to do them. So that is what we have here, and Jonathan Allen is a very good power move rusher and would be a tremendous fit for a lot of players. So just is a little bit slow, but has tremendous size and strength, though, so could be a very good fit for your team also. I'm pretty sure I had this Daniel Hunter last time, but if I did not, he is a tremendous fit for my team. Did add that sprinter to him. As you can see, 86 speed, 89 acceleration. If I need a QB spy off the defensive line, that's what I have him for. He can make a lot of problems with his 6'5 height. I love running one or two QB spies almost every play. Run against a lot of Michael Vicks, Lamar Jacksons, and that QB spy helps against the run for me as well if you scheme it up correctly. 3-5 odd, have Lawrence Taylor, Devin White, Ray Lewis as that odd guy, and use a QB spy. Did have Patrick Willis in that position for some time. They can keep up a little bit better, and also helps if they try to run on either side because they can cut that off because they are noticing what is going on as they are staring at the quarterback. Also, he does have a very good finesse move, so that also is a very good thing for me. As Reggie White, Lawrence Taylor, Howie Long, and I believe Von Miller. I don't think his finesse move's better than his power move. Yeah, his power move's better as well. So he's the only one that's even close for me, actually. Except for Buckner, excuse me, that has a finesse move that is that high. So that is an advantage for me as well, and just something to think about. You might not want all power move guys. Maybe someone loaded up their offensive line with power move, offensive linemen that are able to shut that down, and you're playing a Super Bowl against him, and you just need someone to do something different. Very odd situation, but just something to potentially think about. Did go out and get Saquon Barkley as well. So DeCastro, Barkley, and Delaney Walker are the players that I did get for the Mutt Heroes at this point in time. Saquon is mostly kickoff returner, and then also using him as my third down back. Tremendous catcher out of the backfield. Cannot pass block quite as well, so if you need someone to do that, I would actually focus more towards a Clinton Portis. Actually, might want to look at that a little bit more closely with what I'm doing right now as well. Koye is pretty good at that. So yeah, might actually use him as a third down back in some of these house rules things. So just some things to think about and what I have been doing with my team and a few tips on kind of how I've been able to put together what team I do have and the coin stack that I do have at this point in time. So just some things to think about, and hopefully your team is starting to look similar to what mine is at this time. It is able to win me more games than I potentially should. So hopefully you're able to go out and get some head-to-head wins in these house rules. It is a pretty good time, and I'm doing that over Weekend League this weekend. So hopefully you are having good luck and are going to be able to get your 92 nat. I wish you all the best and take care. Thanks for checking out the Irish Orangutan channel. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to get all the Madden updates and info you need to put together a team better than your friends and win more head-to-head games online. Until next time, much love.